I have a license to kill. If I can kill you, I will. That wasn't a quote by a Bond villain, even though it sounds like one. That was Anthony Joshua, a man who casually sounds, and I hope he doesn't see this, like a corporate HR handbook. And now he's threatening actual murder. And who is the threat against? A former Disney Channel star. Welcome to December 19th, 2025, Judgment Day. Tonight, Netflix isn't giving us Stranger Things. They're giving us a public execution in Miami. But we're watching, and we're not watching for the sport. We are watching for the glitch in the Matrix. Sawadee Cup and welcome to another episode here for the Funky Pod, Mindful Media and Communication. And of course, we couldn't escape the Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua fight here on the pod either. So if you can't beat them, can't hide from them, at least tear them down, talk about them. And you know that I always try to connect anything I do here on the pod with media and communication theories. And the first one I brought today is one that we also discussed on the last podcast episode already, when we talked about P. Diddy and 50 Cent. It's the theory that was coined by Sean Baudrillard. It's called hyperreality, right? So what is real, what's not? So if you just look at the stats, right, and I wrote it down. AJ is 6'6", 2 times heavyweight champion of the world, Olympic gold medalist, versus Jake Paul, a YouTuber who beat up a senior citizen last year. On paper, shout out Brendan Sharp, on paper, no, Anthony Smith, sorry, Sharp, all the same. This is illegal. On paper, this is illegal. And that's when now Sean Baudrillard's hyper-reality comes in, okay? So the theory is called hyper-reality or simulacra. That's how we call it. Hyper-reality is what came out of it and what stuck with most of us. The concept is that the image of the thing that we are watching, that we're talking about, is more real than the thing itself. So we're all talking about the AJ Jake Paul fight, not knowing is it real or is it just as real as John Cena's retirement fight match, for example. Yeah, we're not sure, but we talk about it like it's a real thing, like it's like super hyped, super crazy, oh my god, we have to see it. Even though the two options that are out there that are the most obvious ones are A, AJ murders him, which should happen looking at size differences, looking at skills and so on, or B, it's fake and we're all being played. Nevertheless, because we're not sure, we're like, there is some intrigue there. I want to see what's actually happening. And then if it's a fake fight, who knows? Then they're inviting like actual combat sports people, right? Eddie Hearn is the promoter or is co-promoter with MVP. Ariel Helwani is doing the press conference and stuff. So they're blurring the lines between, is it entertainment? Is it real fighting? We're not sure. And that's the hyper-reality. We're looking at it, and by us assigning value to it, it becomes real to us. So if you were to break it down in the theoretical aspect, we could say it's not a boxing match that we're looking forward to, it's the simulation that we're looking forward to, okay? The simulation of a boxing match. And yeah, it has everything, the gloves, the lights, the announcers, but it lacks the core ingredient, the merit. But we're still assigning value to it. Yeah, so I'm gonna say it, even though I know I'm gonna get shit for it. Jake is LARPing right now, right? Live action role playing. So millennials know what it means. So he's LARPing as a boxer, and we are watching to see, does the simulation hold up, or will reality eventually hit and break through in a form of AJ's right hand? That's what it's all about. Yeah, so is the simulation holding up, or is it finally going to break? So that's the first theory I brought today. The second theory is one that's also extremely obvious: attention economy. And in this relation, attention economy, and we can also talk a little bit about the death of the pay-per-view, because we also see this, thank you Netflix, happening. Yeah, why is such an event on Netflix? Why is there no boxing pay-per-viewers in the old times? It goes hand in hand with the UFC leaving ESPN, no more pay-per-views, and so on, right? So the theory I brought you here is called attention economy. Okay, so attention economy is suggesting that attention is a very scarce source and that we're all competing for it. And money follows the eyes, not the quality of the content. So wherever the most eyes go, the money will go too. So if now Netflix gets the most eyes on their product, the money will also go to Netflix, not to pay-per-views anymore. Okay? That's why HBO Boxing died. That's why, okay, the others didn't die just yet, but not looking that great, right? Why again? Because HBO Boxing sold tickets, pay-per-views. Netflix Boxing lives because it's on the Netflix platform. And what does it do? It sells retention. It makes us stay on the platform. And if we stay on the platform, eyes on the platform, money follows those eyes onto the platform. So Jake kind of hacked, and I'm not even mad at it, but he kind of hacked the economy. He realized that hate watching is actually also building retention. Yeah, hate watching or fan watching doesn't matter. We're watching. Okay? So Netflix doesn't need you to buy the fight to support a fighter. They need you to not cancel your subscription and stay on the platform. So the whole event is a retention tool and not a sporting event. And the last thing, let me see. Oh, maybe I'll give you two more. As always, I have a whole litany of theories, but I don't want to go too much into professor mode. Maybe I'll give you one or two more. The one I really want to talk about is one we mentioned before as well, called parasocial relationships. And in this regard, I would also say parasocial relationships and the right to violence. And let me explain, okay? The question is, why do millions of people, millions and millions of people, desperately want to see Jake Paul getting knocked out? There must be a reason for it. Why do we long for Jake Paul getting knocked out? And the theory here is called parasocial interaction. Okay, so parasocial basically means we form one-sided emotional relationships, usually to celebrities, influencers, and so on. We know everything about them, they know nothing about us. Okay, that's a parasocial relationship. So this could be love, this could be hate. You see where this is going, right? Right. So you feel like you know Jake Paul. You've seen him so many times. You've seen him knock out if you're into fighting, all your former favorite MMA fighters. You've seen him struck. You've seen him be an ass, allegedly. You've seen all those things, right? So you feel emotionally entitled to his downfall. You're like, I've seen his rise. Now I'm here to see his downfall too, because you watch that whole narrative arc of his, yeah, from Disney Channel to whatever this is right now. So you're not a neutral sports observer that sits there and is like, huh, I'm a boxing connoisseur. I wonder if whoever you used to watch back in the day, I wonder if Floyd Mayweather does this. I wonder if Henry Musket does that. Yeah, you're not. You're a scorned friend and you want catharsis. You don't even want a great boxing match. You want catharsis. You want Jake getting knocked the F out, right? And you want to see that simulation algorithm getting punched in the face so that we're finally done with it. That's what you want. Maybe me too. Who knows? Okay, I'll bring you one more because it's so much fun to talk about this. So, because the last one is fascinating. It's an older one. I talked about this before as well. One of my favorite theories as well to talk about. It's the culture industry theory. It was coined by Theodor Adorno, like an old German like researcher in this space, pop culture industry and so on. Worked for the Frankfurt School and then during the war became the Glasgow School. Um, so yeah, so Adorno and Horkheimer were like doing lots of stuff together, and Adorno says, well, or before I tell you what he says, it fits into the theme of everybody thinking, well, it's scripted, probably better scripted than John Cena's retirement match. Yes, I keep hating on that. So Adorno talks about the culture industry. Okay, so the idea is that mass media turns art, which anything you might watch, consume, could be, right, on TV, music, whatever. So it turns art into a standardized kind of like factory product to, he said, to pacify the masses. So they don't want you to think about stuff. They want you to consume, 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 consume. Be cool with it. Consume the next thing. Consume the next thing. Don't look at it. Don't think about it. Okay? So that he talked about, in particular, about pop music. That was like his big thing, but that applies here as well, right? So and Netflix does just that. They want you just to keep consuming on the platform, right? Do you want to watch this next, everything personalized. You don't have to choose anything. Don't think, we choose for you. Netflix does it all, and so for Netflix, this this is not a sports event. For Netflix, this is this is Love is Blind. This is just another reality show that they can cash in on. So a 30-second knockout would be terrible for Netflix. And now you can make your own assumptions. Yeah, why? Because it's bad. It's bad for ad slots. It's bad for retention because then we just switch off very fast. So Netflix doesn't want a quick knockout. Unless, I mean, of course, they could also monetize those highlight clips and so on, sure. But I mean, they want us to stay on the platform. That what leads me to looking into my crystal ball. The fight is not going to be fixed, like illegally, of course not. Like AJ not going to take a dive or something. But will it be managed? Will AJ carry Jake Paul? Will AJ not pull the trigger for a while? Maybe not at all. To make sure that we get at least 15 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, so that everybody's happy at Netflix. Wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. And again, is it real? Is it not real? Yes. If AJ carries Jake, makes it look like a fight, is it real? Is it not real? Huh. You decide. This leads me to. This leads me to. Yeah, this leads me to the conclusion. Let's not hate too much, because in the end, I mean, spectacles are what sell, right? So if it's entertaining us, maybe it has a right to exist. Who knows? Who knows? But my takeaway for you right now is this. Okay, after almost 15 minutes of talking about that. Tonight, the line between merit, sport, and attention, content, dissolves completely. Right? There's not even blurred, the line's gone. So if AJ knocks him out, enjoy the meme, right? If Jake wins, go read a book because we have proof that the simulation has officially broken and stupidity has won, right? Just imagine if it actually happens. Oh, God. Well, and in this regard, I'll leave you with this. Now, there's only one thing left to do. Go to Polymarket and bet on whatever stupid prop bet there is, because The devil obviously also has its hands on there, and you know what I mean, and who I mean when I say the devil. Until then, stay safe, take care, keep your guard up, literally, figuratively. Let me know what you think about it. Fight that whole stage thing. Are you looking forward to it? Are you gonna ignore it? What do you hope for? Did you place any bets on it? Um, what do you think about the $500,000 chain that AJ got from Polymarket? That's totally not suspicious at all. Shout out in the comments, either on socials on at FunkitPod or right where you listen to the podcast on Spotify. Leave a review; it would be fantastic. Share with your friends. Stay stay safe. Stay, yeah. I don't know what I wanted to say. Mindful. I'm not angry. You are. Until then, we talk next time. With